Now you can give us money, and you can give us power. With a little bit of both, you can give strength to a coward, and you can give us cars, and you can give us houses. You can give us pleasure, make it rain by the thousands, and even by the millions. You can give us islands, put us on the tour, selling multi-platinum albums, but your reign is short. Don't enjoy your hour, cause you were just a flower, and God owes the power. And what you do not tell us in this dream that you sell us, instead we storing wrath, it's a God that is jealous. And if we don't repent, turn to you and serve the Lord. For every ground we stand, we gon' be judged by the Lord. That's why we lost with hate, and I can never get it back. Lord knows I hate the day I ever stole crack. Cocaine I hate. Lord knows I hate. These rappers talk about the money, they talk about the fame, but they don't talk about the pain that comes to selling pain. Crack I hate. Cocaine I hate.
Crazy, did you check the weather?
The weather? No.
You sure?
Did I check the weather, you said?
Yeah.
I can check it for you. It's hot. I can attest to that. It's muggy. So I'm breaking sweat, walk to your car.
You're killing me. You're lucky the song didn't play on time. Because we were supposed to have the rain by Missy Elliott. But it didn't come in right. So, yeah, I earned that one. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to bring on one of my good friends. He is the writer, director, producer, and star of the, and I say this openly, soon to be award-winning play, Fighting God. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to my friend, Mr. Rory Lawrence.
What's up, Rashawn? Thanks for the great accolades. I was looking around to see who he was talking about.
Whatever. Hey, the one thing you'll never hear me call you is the next Tyler Perry. And it's no disrespect to Tyler Perry, but you are carving out, you are really walking the path that God has laid for you to walk. And that's why I say no disrespect to Tyler Perry, but you're not trying to be anybody for who God has called you to be, and I applaud you for that. And
Thank you.
Man, from a Raisin in the Sun to Fighting God, I'm telling you, man, the progression has been phenomenal. Tell us a little bit about where this play and where it's going in your vision.
Well, I mean, hopefully, I'm believing God, man, that this play will somehow get a national tour because, like, you've seen the play, and I wrote it. I wrote the play to basically, if you're a believer, you definitely appreciate the script and you enjoy it. But if you're not a believer and you're just a theater goer and you like good theater and a powerful message, you enjoy it too. Just like with this show here, I had a guy come up to me after the show who was an atheist. And he was like, "Man, I love this show, this and that." Another guy who was not a believer who was just literally crying after the show because of the powerful message. Because my goal is was not really to proselytize, but just to have a solid, powerful, dramatic stage play that everybody can enjoy. And so if you go, you don't leave like you've been hit across the head with the Bible, but just have some good theater. But it does minister.
Cool, and it does. I can attest to it. I'm telling you, I took my wife to see it, and after the play, she looked at me. She said, "This was like a Lifetime movie on stage."
Man, I'm telling you, we've done it. You saw it when the opening weekend. We didn't know what people would think because, like I said, people who are used to coming to my shows, like you say, I've directed A Raisin in the Sun. I also did a comedy that I wrote between calls, and I did 12 Angry Men and The Trip and all the stuff that I was doing. And a lot of people were like, hey, man, when you going to do something inspirational, something like with a gospel tip to it? And I was like, well, when it's laid on my heart, you know since I've been doing it. So I was like, well, I'll do it. And finally, when the concept of Fighting God came, I was like, I want to do something that's not gospel-y, but doesn't compromise the gospel. And I don't want to do something churchy. So when I started writing, and I will never forget, I got done with Act 1, and I showed it to another Christian writer, and she was like, oh, okay. Yeah, right then I knew a lot of people wouldn't be ready for it, and I knew it would be different from. So from that point on, I didn't say anything to anybody about it. I just kept doing my regular shows, and I kept writing this play, and I kept doing my regular shows, and I kept writing this play, and I knew that the perfect time would come to do it. And when we did it here in Tampa at the main stage theater on the ACC, I didn't know how it would be perceived. And I mean, and when we did it, it's just like everybody's like, "Oh my goodness, I never would have thought it's coming." This and that. And I had pastors call me. Good, not really, I wouldn't say bad, but some of the things they were saying, well, when you say this, that can be kind of, touchy with some pastors. I'm like, well, I'm not changing it because I'm writing it because it's real. It's real.
Right.
So.
And when they see it, and I know our listeners, I know the OTS family is going to go see this. When they see it, they're going to see what I saw. And I'm telling you, it's not that often that I'm able to look and see the development in characters on stage locally. And I could see your character development, man. It was beautifully done. And
thank you.
I want to ask you about the two, Quincy and, man, I can't remember his brother.
Elton.
Yeah,
Elton. Mm-hmm.
Why the opposing sides?
Well, you know what? Honestly, man, it's just that when things like that, for me, talking to people in life about, like I have all kinds of people I'm around, especially when I was at my job, people who really are into church and some who are overboard, some who are totally atheist and agnostic and whatever. And a lot of people will tell you, well, I don't believe because of this. I don't believe because of, I do believe because of this. So when that tragedy initially happens to them as young boys, it dictated a path for each one of them. Both of them they love each other. They had a passion for what, being into their careers, but they were affected by the tragedy in two totally different manners. I mean, both of them, to me, honestly, were damaged. But how did they handle the damage? What did they go to? Did they go to drugs? Did they go to alcohol? Did they go to sex? Did they go to God? How do you handle something? Everybody handles stuff different. Like we revert back to stuff when tragedy happens. So it just so happened that Elton, like he chose to cling on to his faith in God, regardless of the circumstance that happened. And then you have Quincy, who was analytical and super highly educated. Like, if there was a God, why would this happen? Leaving God's house. This can't be true. So
that was the one that's the character I most identified with in my life was Quincy. As far as lashing out and questioning, and I didn't really see him lashing out as much as you're right. Prove it to me. You've let me down so many times. Prove it to me. And I love that, man. Talk about, you all were awarded 2 opportunities, one in D.C. and one in Atlanta. Kind of go through that a little bit.
Well, basically, I came across those theater festivals because I was not looking to enter a theater festival because I knew nothing about how they worked, but I wanted to bring a festival here, do one myself through my nonprofit theater company, and to get us more involved in the arts here. So I just began to look online for theater festivals that were coming up, and the first one that popped up was D.C. So I said, okay, and I told my wife, I said, well, we're gonna go to this theater festival and go to the workshops and go to the shows and see how to do one. And then we're gonna come back and do one. Then I started reading to where you can submit your work, and I had just finished. I was in production with Fighting God, and I said, well, let me submit my play and see if they choose it. So how it works. You submit your play, like over 500 plays are submitted, and they pick like 50 to go up, and then they chose our play, and which was cool. So we just got back from D.C. a couple of weeks ago, and man, when we did it down there, the same thing. The audience, that's why I know we have an awesome product, man, with this play, and the hand of God is on it, because when we leave, people are floored, and it's crazy because what it's attracting is people from all walks. I went to one guy from up there. He was in D.C., but he came in from, did he come in from New York or somewhere? I don't know, but highly intellectual Jewish guy sat through the whole play. He said, and up there in the festivals, you have a time frame, so we didn't do an intermission. We went straight through. And he came to me, he said, I tell you what, this play, and I quote, he said, so gripping. He said, an hour and a half went by, and me and my wife looked at each other. We didn't even know it because we were hanging on every word. And this is a young, like I said, Jewish guy, him and his wife, and a couple other people, man. I mean, many other people. They just all leave like in, wow, we never saw this coming, because I wrote it to be unpredictable and strong like that. So, by the grace of God.
Well, now we've been announcing it's coming to the Strad Center.
Yeah.
What information do we need?
Well, basically, it's coming up this coming up weekend, the 27th, 28th, Saturday. It's an 8:00 show. And Sunday is a 4 p.m. show, and like I said, the Strad is a whole different beast, but you know that. So we're just trying to get the support for people to come out. And if your listeners are out there, and if you may want to give this to them or write them down, I have a promo code. They can get a discount on their ticket if they go online.
Please pay attention, y'all.
If they go online and buy their ticket, it'll ask you, do you have a promo code? Just enter FG, for Fighting God. So that's FG 777, and it would take like $5 off each ticket that they purchase.
Ooh, and I can tell you that $5 is going to be well worth it, because they always sell good stuff. Are y'all going to be selling the cookies and stuff in the?
You want to talk about the cookies?
I'm just saying.
The play is good, but what are y'all going to have them cookies and brownies in there?
Exactly.
You know what? We laugh, bro, but because I built that tradition of every show that we do, people come, especially people who come to our show consistently, they come looking for those brownies and the coffee and the cake because they're homemade and stuff.
Yes, sir.
But you got at the straws, man, they won't let me sell my products like that. They want to make all, what's there. So they'll sell you a sandwich for $10 and a drink for about $5, but,
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Well, you know what you can do? Here's what you can do. All right. Everybody, when you get to the show, if you get there an hour early, he'll be selling them out the trunk of his car.
Okay. In the parking lot A, you see a black car hood up selling brownies and cookies. Put it in your pocket, and when you get inside at your table, you go ahead and sneak that in like you do at the movie.
While you playing, I thought I saw somebody when I came out of HCC from seeing the play. I thought I saw a brother selling videos, DVDs of your play.
Right, they better not. If they do, they got theirs done before I got mine done. Mine is still in there. Oh my gosh,
it's an excellent play. It is an excellent play, and next weekend, please go out and support it, because we don't get many shows at the Straws.
Yeah,
we just don't.
That's just the thing. The thing is, Vershawn, is the world they're moved by noise. And what I mean by that, by the media, by numbers. And you can have an amazing play, but if 10 people come to your show, they don't care. That's how I got my first write up in the TVT. I got to write up in 3 different papers in 1 week, because the critic who came to see the play, he was like, man, how are you getting all these people to come to your shows? Now, if nobody was coming to the show, they could have cared less. They could have cared less and be like, yeah, whatever, just another company trying to do whatever. But when you got quality plays and you're working hard and you got people coming to see your show and talking about it, then that's making a noise for them to get their attention. And that's what I mean by trying to get the church to come out and just support it and get behind it and to see it be a blessing to a bunch of people. Ultimately, this cast, like I said, you've seen this cast, they put in work and they work hard. And I know we have rehearsal today, and we're we've done the play, and many times, and we're still